The 1970s were more than just a decade. They were a soundtrack to a generation. From disco-lit dance floors to car radios blasting rock anthems, music wasn't just entertainment, it was identity. Some songs became timeless classics, still played today, while others quietly faded away, remembered only by those who truly lived through the era. In this countdown, we'll revisit 13 unforgettable tracks that defined youth, love, freedom, and rebellion in the 70s. These aren't just songs. They're memories, stories, and emotions that shaped an entire generation. If you grew up in the 1970s, get ready. This list will take you back to a time when the music said everything words alone could not. Number 13. In 1972, Looking Glass released Brandy, You're a Fine Girl, a song that became an instant radio staple. Its catchy melody and nautical storytelling made it stand out in a sea of soft rock hits. The track painted a vivid picture of a barmaid named Brandy, whose heart belonged to a sailor and not the men who adored her. While the song was a massive hit at the time, over the decades it slowly slipped out of mainstream recognition. Younger generations rarely encounter it. But for those who lived through the 70s, the chorus remains unforgettable. Brandy was the type of tune you'd hear blasting in cars with the windows rolled down. Its legacy lives on as a bittersweet reminder of the storytelling style that defined much of 70s rock. It wasn't just a pop single. It was a small novel packed into 3 minutes. And those who grew up in the decade still feel its pull. Number 12. Few songs captured the laid-back joy of the early 70s quite like Dancing in the Moonlight. Released by King Harvest, this song radiated optimism, making it perfect for house parties and summer nights. Its gentle groove and uplifting lyrics created a sense of togetherness that audiences adored. Though the track resurfaces occasionally in movies and commercials, many people today don't realize where it originally came from. For 70s teens, however, it was one of those songs that played endlessly on FM radio, etching itself into their memories. It remains a nostalgic anthem that evokes carefree evenings and friendships that felt eternal. Dancing in the Moonlight is a time capsule of an era when music didn't just entertain, it bonded people. Number 11. In 1976, Starbuck released a quirky yet unforgettable hit, Moonlight Feels Right. The track blended smooth vocals with an unusual instrument for pop music, the marimba, giving it a sound unlike anything else on the charts. The song climbed high in the charts, but Starbuck quickly faded from the spotlight, leaving Moonlight Feels Right as their signature contribution to music history. For many, it was a one-hit wonder that still sparks recognition decades later. Those who grew up in the 70s can still recall that unusual sound and the way the song seemed tailor-made for summer romances. It's one of those hidden gems that carries a unique charm for anyone who experienced it firsthand. Number 10. Love Grows Where My Rosemary Goes is one of the most cheerful tracks to open the decade. Released in 1970, its upbeat tempo and sunny vibe made it a radio favorite across both the US and the UK. Although Edison Lighthouse never replicated the same success, this track became their immortal claim to fame. For 70s listeners, it was hard not to sing along when that infectious chorus came on the radio. Today, it's largely forgotten outside of nostalgia circles, but for those who lived through the 70s, the song feels like a burst of joy, instantly transporting them back to their teenage years. Number 9. Sammy John's Chevy van captured the free-spirited lifestyle of the mid-70s. With lyrics about romance on the road and the culture of van life, it became an anthem for young people chasing freedom. While it reached the top 5 in 1975, the song quickly slipped into obscurity as the decade ended. Still, for listeners of the time, it was more than a song. It was a snapshot of youth, mobility, and independence. Hearing Chevy Van today brings back memories of a time when owning a van symbolized freedom and rebellion. Only those who grew up in that era can truly feel its nostalgic weight. Number 8. This ballad from Climax was the definition of early 70s romance. Released in 1972, Precious and Few climbed the charts thanks to its tender lyrics and heartfelt delivery. Couples slow danced to it, and it often served as the soundtrack to high school romances. Though it was immensely popular at its peak, it faded from radio rotations in later decades. Its absence made it one of those tracks you rarely hear today, except from those who were there when it mattered. For listeners of the time, the song evokes a deeply personal nostalgia. It reminds them of teenage love, first heartbreaks, and the fleeting moments of youth that felt precious and few indeed. Number 7.
Now I told you so
In 1978, Walter Egan delivered Magnet and Steel, a smooth, dreamy song that fit perfectly with the California soft rock sound of the era. Produced with the help of Fleetwood Mac members Lindsey Buckingham and Stevie Nicks, it had a polish that elevated it to hit status.
You're a woman who's lost to you.
The track became a romantic favorite, but its fame didn't last long past the decade. Walter Egan never managed another hit of the same scale, which meant this song became a time-locked classic for 70s listeners. Today, hearing it instantly recalls images of summer nights, car radios, and a softer, dreamlike version of rock music. It's a reminder of how effortlessly the 70s balanced romance and melody. Number 6.
No one can even begin.
Henry Gross's Shannon was a heartfelt ballad inspired by the death of Carl Wilson of the Beach Boys' dog. Released in 1976, its emotional story resonated with listeners, propelling it into the charts. Though its origins were unusual, the song touched a nerve with audiences who felt its melancholic beauty. It was one of those tracks that stood out, not just for its sound, but for the emotion it carried. As time passed, it became one of those songs that slipped out of rotation. But for those who remember it, Shannon remains a touching relic of the 70s softer side. Number 5. With Mickey Thomas delivering the lead vocals, Fooled Around and Fell in Love became a defining ballad of 1975. Its soulful sound and heartfelt lyrics made it a slow dance favorite. The track's smooth blend of rock and soul gave it broad appeal, but it eventually faded from mainstream consciousness. Still, for those who experienced the 70s, it's one of those tracks that immediately transports you back to the dance floor. Its timeless chorus continues to resonate with listeners who remember the moment they first heard it on the radio. It's a snapshot of romance in the 70s that can't be duplicated. Number 4. David Essex released Rock On in 1973, and it stood out with its sparse, moody production and hypnotic bass line. Unlike the upbeat hits of the time, it was dark, mysterious, and alluring. The track gained a cult following, particularly among younger fans drawn to its rebellious tone. Though Essex had other hits in the UK, this song became his most recognizable in the US. Today, Rock On remains a unique and haunting track, remembered mostly by those who lived through the era. Its unconventional style made it unforgettable to 70s audiences. Number 6. Afternoon Delight was one of the most unlikely hits of the 70s. With its seemingly innocent harmonies, it climbed to the top of the charts in 1976, but the lyrics carried a cheeky, double meaning that gave it lasting notoriety. For many, it was a playful song that captured the era's blend of innocence and daring. Families sang along without realizing the innuendo, while adults chuckled at the hidden meaning. It's one of those songs that instantly triggers laughter and nostalgia for anyone who grew up in the 70s. Few tracks better represent the decade's bold playfulness. Number 2.
Goodbye to you, my trusted friend.
Seasons in the Sun was a bittersweet ballad that topped charts in 1974. With its melancholic farewell lyrics, it struck a chord with audiences, becoming one of the most emotional songs of the decade. Although critics often dismissed it as overly sentimental, listeners embraced its raw sincerity. It was the kind of track that made an impression, especially on younger listeners experiencing heartbreak for the first time. The song has largely disappeared from modern playlists, but those who lived through the 70s can never forget the impact it had. It was a song that captured the fragility of life in a way only music could. At number 1, we have Blue Swede's 1974 rendition of Hooked on a Feeling. Its famous Ooga Chaka intro made it instantly recognizable and unforgettable. The track soared to the top of the charts, embedding itself deep in 70s pop culture. Though it has resurfaced in movies like Guardians of the Galaxy, for those who grew up in the 70s, it's more than a novel. It's a direct line back to their youth, to the car races, the record shops, and the carefree days of adolescence. Hooked on a Feeling embodies the fun, playful, and memorable side of 70s. It is the ultimate nostalgic anthem, a song only those who lived through the decade can truly appreciate in its original glory.